Good morning and welcome into the number one group of five college football show of all time. This is the Group of Five Guys, and our mission is to be the voice for the Group of Five football programs, the voice that the mainstream sports media, Paul Feinbaum, absolutely refused to be. We need your help to do that. Hit the follow button on all the social platforms at Group of Five Guys. Go to YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, the Believe Network, wherever you get your best podcasts. Subscribe to the channel. Leave a 5-star rating and a review. Most importantly, tell your family and friends all about us. On this episode, we're talking all of the Group of Five versus Power Five and other Group of Five non-conference matchups for the weekend. Hope you enjoy the show. This is the Group of Five Guys, and we are coming to you live.
They got Old Dominion week 3, and ODU is by no means a layup. Group of Five Guys told me that, so that has to be true.
We looked at each other, we was like, Mike, the best place to be is a Group of Five. So I'm sitting here with the Group of Five guys, right?
Troy has won, it's been a winner, and it's a special place, so it's why you want the job.
But it's a ton of fun to watch a guy go to the NFL from a Nevada or a Colorado State or a Middle Tennessee or an App State, and fans follow that kid.
It was across there. You want to have this thing packed out, have the student section packed out, giving those guys hell on the sideline. I mean, that's part of it. I mean,
win or lose, like we're winning the tailgate.
There's no better place to be developed in this country than Boise State.
Hey, before we get into sponsors or games or anything light that we normally try to be on this show, obviously, I think everybody's heard the news now about the passing of Coach Shawn Clark, former App State head coach, former App State player, and was currently the UCF offensive line coach. But I just want to say, we got to know him pretty good over the last couple of years, and he was probably the first head coach to really, really show us love. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate the guy. I mean, the first time we go to Boone and the guy's, strutting down the hall in his Group of Five guys sweatshirt, he gave us a jar of authentic moonshine from the mountains the first time we go to his office. And just opened up his doors and his facility for us. And nobody has to do that ever. And he especially didn't have to do that. What was that, 3-4 years ago at this point, Jeff? And I mean, just when we get a chance to talk to these coaches, you love all of them, but that was a guy that really freaking loved ball. He loved being around people. He loved his family, and he loved App State. And so, these things are hitting me a little harder than they used to, Jeff. And I, especially when somebody's got kids, young kids, it really, it sucks, dude. But, I just wanted to, come on here and say we're praying for his wife and his kids, especially, and then everybody that knew him well. So, because we didn't know him well, and affected me quite a bit. So,
not without question. Thoughts and prayers to the Clark family, and you hit the nail on the head. Like nobody owes us anything. We're nobodies in this space, and the fact that he was one of the first to really embrace us meant a lot to us, and just super genuine human being, outside of, coach and all those things, just like you said, loved people and loved relationships and appreciated it. And I think that's just a testament, to the man that he was. And it's just heartbreaking, 50 years old is super young. And I agree with you. All these things as we've gotten older, they do, man. They hit harder. And, especially when you have somewhat of a relationship, with a person, and just gone way too soon, and we'll continue to pray for his family.
Yeah, the one of the I guess memories I have of him. This is how you know he was one of the ways you know he was such a genuine guy. And I've seen a bunch of stories like this on Twitter about um, him like messaging people about picking against App or something like that, and like kind of talking trash a little bit. There's one time we had people at the house, and I had a neighbor brought an Old Dominion koozie over, and I just tweeted a picture of it, and I just said something funny. And dude, it wasn't like half an hour later, he messages me like, "How you gonna post a koozie?" And I like just stuff like that, like, "How you gonna post an Old Dominion koozie?" And like, again, I know that's it's not a big deal, but for somebody like a Division One head football coach, you know how many people are trying to reach these people and interview these people and talk to these people and write about, and for him to pay mind to so many others that are and were and will always be small time in this football media world, I guess. So, um, yeah, again, praying for his family, his wife and kids. But just brutal news over the weekend. I'm gonna try to lighten the mood a little bit, Jeff. Yeah, I went to the eye doctor yesterday. My eyes have been bugging me. And for those of you that don't know, like I've got this deal lately where I'm having to like forcefully blink, like this. Like my eyes are itching so bad. I'm having to blink and then open them, and then it's like a never ending cycle. Well, it's been going on for months. Tried eye drops, tried the warm compressions and tried all the things. Nothing. So I made the mistake of going to the doctor yesterday, the eye doctor, and they do the full eye exam. And I'm telling them, what kills me about doctors, they always dismiss what you're feeling or what symptoms you have, and they go right to like they hear one little thing that you might say and they stick to it and they diagnose based off that. Like they're asking me questions. I'm like, yeah, they just itch. I don't know. I was like, it feels like I need to cry. That's what I told him. I said, it feels like I'm about to start crying, but I can't. Like there's no tears. That's what I told him. And I was like, it just feels like it's like blocked up and it's putting some pressure on the eyes. I asked him like, vision's great. I'm seeing just fine. It doesn't hurt. So it just itches and it's really annoying and really uncomfortable. They're like, no pain at all. And I was like, I mean, I guess, a little bit of pressure. They took that as if I'm telling them I got eye pain. And they're just like, see, I see him typing. He's like, pain in the eye, pressure. I'm like, well, hold on now. I said no. And then you kept prodding, kept poking and prodding. And I said, well, I mean, I guess maybe a little bit.
Eyeball fell out of socket, re-put
Yeah,
back in.
dude. Yeah. So anyway, and then they dismiss it as allergies. And I'm like, no, I'm like, maybe, but I've had allergies before, and it's normally just in the spring. And when that happens, eye drops or Claritin or whatever works. Clears me up for the day, and I'm fine. And then he said, "Well, the environment, blah, whatever, maybe." So anyway, they diagnosed me with dry eye. And he gives me some eye drops, whatever. We'll see if they work. So far, not so good. But then while I'm in there, they're like, "Do you want to do a full eye exam?" And I'm like, I kind of want to because I uh I always joke with my wife, like I read the whole thing. When they pull up the eye chart, I cover one eye and I read the whole chart. And like my wife always gets pissed because she can't see any of it. Like both eyes, she can't even see, like a blur.
Blind as a bat.
Yeah.
That's how I am.
So first they give me this little sheet and they're like, hold this like as if you were going to be reading a magazine or a book. So I just hold it right out in front of me, and it's different now. It's got like little fonts, different size fonts. So I read the smallest one and it says like small Bible font is what it says. I read the whole sentence. Then I do the thing, I cover the eye, read the whole thing. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, 2015 vision, Jeff.
20.
Better than 2020.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's been I was 2013 vision the last time I got a test, and that was probably when I was a child. So 2015 vision. But anyway, then they keep on poking and prodding. And then he finds some deal in my retina. I got to go to see a specialist today. And I'm like, this is why I didn't want to come into the doctor.
No, see, you got
my
it all
eyes
wrong.
itch.
You got it all wrong. See, they could have found something.
Maybe no, but see, I believe in symptoms. I believe the body tells you when something's wrong. So I'm in there like he finds this thing and I'm like, oh, okay. So is that why and he's like, oh no, that's got nothing to do with you got allergies and dry eye. This you really need to get. And I'm like, bro, like, look here, Dr. Toe Walker. I am not like, I'm like, I don't, and he's like, are you seeing like, you getting more floaters in your eyes? And I was like, nope. He's like, you getting your peripherals off? I'm like, nope. And he's like, you seeing like, maybe like light flashes? And I'm like, dude, you just did my vision test. I'm like, brother, like I'm again, like, give me the damn eye drops and let me get out of here. But anyway, so I got to go to a specialist today. I might be wearing I might go all in on the Pirates and wear an eye patch on Friday morning.
Hey, Pirates are in right now.
Yeah. We know you go down to Tampa in the Gasparilla Fest. They all dress like it's like a week-long festival. They dress as pirates. Very interesting.
Well, just keep an eye out that old Sprousey. My dear mother had a detached retina.
This is what he says is could detach. My brother had a detached retina. He got hit with a tennis ball. We were playing baseball in the street. He got hit. That's what did it. But anyway, we'll see. I'm going to the specialist this morning. So, and the thing is too, Shay, I'm right there with you on it being a racket. But they say the insurance covers it, but not if you don't ever go to the doctor and you got to meet a deductible that you never meet because you don't ever go.
That's exactly right.
They're like, yeah, your insurance covers it. So walk out of there $175 later. I'm like, whoa, hold up now.
No, your deductible is $10,000. So it's like I'm nowhere near that.
That's like when my fence, when my fence fell, we had a tornado come through and part of my fence fell down. And immediately I'm like, hell yeah, dude, I need a new fence. Then I call the insurance and they're like, oh, well, your homeowner's deductible is $10,000. And I'm like, oh, so I need like the whole house to fall for anything to actually be worth it at this point. So anyway, shout out to Deca Gray Coffee Company. I know that's getting us through this Wednesday morning. And Jeff, is it next week we have midweek Conference USA games, or is it the following week?
It
might be the following.
Yeah, I think
week.
it's the fall. It's the
first week of October.
Full week of October. Yeah.
So that's coming. So we're gonna be extra tired. So as you know, we need Deca Gray coffee. You guys know the deal. DecaGray.com. Promo code GOFG, 10% off plus free shipping. Roast to order coffee. You put it in your cart. You click purchase. They roast it. They bag it. Ship it directly to your doorstep. Also, Level Sports Picks, the Discord. You guys check that out. We've been posting a bunch of the winnings from everybody, from mostly Jeff, not me, but Vandy, Coach, Blake. Everybody's rolling right now, especially NFL and saw Coach won a bunch on the UFC Contender Series. I mean, these guys got stuff on there that I didn't even know you could bet on.
Yeah, I mean they're dialed in. Vandy hit a builder last night. Coach had a great day. Had a RBI baseball lotto last night, had some builders as well, had the Dana White, you say, Contender Series. So lots of good tickets going on for any, whatever your flavor of sport is outside of obviously college football, they got it. So go check them out. Level Sports Picks. It's a great community they're building. They do giveaways. Vandy gave away two tickets to an NFL game like two weeks ago. So it's just a great community, honestly, where we kind of lean on each other and talk to each other, even when it's not about sports picks. So it's awesome.
Yeah, 100%. They're doing cash giveaways on there all the time. So make sure you check that out. The link will be in all of our bios on all social media platforms. Coincidence that I wore an East Carolina hat and Jeff wore an Army hat today. Honest to God, total coincidence.
It was. Juan, I swear. I just grabbed the hat, I swear.
Yeah, but big one in the American Thursday night. Army at East Carolina right now. East Carolina minus 4.5. Is it? Or that's what it opened at anyway. 52.5 on the over under. Want to see East Carolina bounce back after a tough one, and then also want to see Army bounce back. I mean, Army has had some tough losses this year. The North Texas one where they come back and then they lose it in overtime, and then that Tarleton game week 1, and then of course they've had some tight, close down to the wire games for Army. So Luckily, it's them because them boys are mentally tough. We know that. So, because otherwise it'd be draining on a team. But I look at Army's fourth, their rushing attack fourth in the country. We know that's going to be good. And then East Carolina, 20th run defense in the country. They've seen the option before. They know what they're about to see. I think the question mark is, and I know Juan is joking about it in the chat, is the turnovers for East Carolina. They've been better this year until last week. Now, last week we know they played an elite defense, so that plays a big part in it. But so far on the year, East Carolina 10th in the country turnover margin. They've got to keep it. You cannot give a team like Army extra possessions because you're not going to get any. You turn it over in a quarter, that might be your only possession in a quarter. So you've got to keep it. Army's third in the country time of possession. So that's where I'm at with this one. I think if East Carolina doesn't turn it over, they'll be okay.
Yeah. Who's going to be the starting quarterback? I think they're going to roll with Coleman because he looked, he started the year, then got injured in week 1. Helms came in relief, then started the next 2, and then now they went back to Coleman. Need to check to see if Helms got banged up or anything like that. I think they just pulled him because Coleman gave him a spark. He looked better in the game against North Texas when he went in there, was able to throw, some touchdowns in the air as well as on the ground. Just which one are we going to get though? It's too inconsistent for me to want to go with Army in this game. Mm-hmm. But they're never going to quit. That is the thing about Army. What I love about them is when you watch a game, they might get down like against North Texas. I think it was 28-7.
Yep.
They're not going to quit. They are going to keep coming back. They got stops. That Army offense just continues to roll, and they'll get back in the game. But I think ultimately, being at Dowdy Ficklin, I hope that place is packed and rocking. That defense has looked great this year.
Yeah.
I think they ultimately get it done at home.
Yeah, I'm leaning that way. And like I mentioned, the turnovers scare me because Army had a drive last week where they went 17 plays, 75 yards, and took 10 minutes off the clock. So my fear is, just hypothetical, Army opens the game with a drive like that, and then East Carolina turns it over, and then they get another drive like that. I mean, that's their possible half. Now you have 14-0 at halftime, and you've touched the ball once, or twice at most. So that's what I worry about with this game.
I like the under though. I could see the under being in play with both, pretty good defense. I know Army's defense gave up a lot of points last week, but as you stated and as Juan stated, I can see the under being in play.
Yeah. You get a couple group of 5 versus power 5 matchups. I don't know that I like any of them. Utah State at Vandy. Utah State's 22.5-point dogs. Vandy and that Pavia offense, they're really good, especially running the ball. They're 258 rushing yards a game. Utah State, it's interesting. They're if you look at their numbers, especially in the run defense, they're not very good. They're ranked 112th in the country in run defense. However, they played Air Force, who's going to get their rushing yards, and they've also played Texas A&M, who appears to be a really, really good team. You look at their games against McNeese and UTEP, not that they're comparable to Vandy. I think Vandy's probably somewhere in between, but those guys barely went for 100 yards rushing against Utah State. So I don't think they're as bad as the numbers show. However, I do think Vandy's pretty good and really going to test the defense. And I don't like the chances for Utah State.
I can't wait to see this offense, Bryson Barnes, and that stable of running backs to go against a formidable opponent, right?
Yep.
I think it's going to be a big test for them. I think they're still going to be able to score points. I like the over in this game. I think a lot of points is going to be scored. Vandy's going to put theirs up. I don't know what the team total is. I don't have it in front of me, but I'd be willing to bet that they're slated to score probably 35, 40 points, maybe even a little bit more than that. And then you take into account this Utah State offense that has looked very good. Barnes has 8 touchdowns on the year, only 1 interception. And then he's rushes the ball. Miles Davis has 310 yards on the ground this year. So I have a feeling they're gonna be able to move the ball and score some points, and then it's just if Vandy can do what they've done really every week so far and score, then I think they will. I like the over.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at what, a 42-20 score is kind of
Yeah.
what they're, if you look at the spread and the over under, I mean, it's kind of what they're
Yeah.
looking at. I mean, I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that 42-21 type of game. Yeah, I don't think Utah State can win it though, but hopefully they do. We'll see.
Never know.
San Jose State, they might be the biggest disappointment for me on the year. Stanford ain't good either. Stanford's 2.5-point favorites, 50.5 over under. I just don't really know about San Jose State. They finally scored some points and ran the ball a little bit last week. But I do not trust the consistency of San Jose State. I thought the offense would be a lot better. I don't know. I don't know where to go on this one.
Yeah, I'm staying away from a betting perspective on this game. Just hasn't been consistent at all, and it's been frustrating because we both were pretty high on San Jose State in our conference preview, and that happens. There's still plenty of times to get things rolling, right?
Yeah.
Like, still hadn't got into conference yet if you're San Jose State. Walker Eggett's turned it over. He's only got 3 touchdowns, but he has 3 interceptions as well. So not a game I'm particularly betting on. Stanford being at home, I don't think that gives them much of an advantage. So staying away from this one. I hope San Jose State gets it done just for the sake of being a, group of 5 Power 4 matchup. But outside of that, I haven't seen anything from San Jose State to prove that they're definitively going to win this game.
Yeah, I'm right there with you on that. And then the other one that I probably feel the worst about is UMass at Missouri. I don't know about 43.5 points, but so Jeff, Missouri, 6th overall offense in the country, 5th rushing offense in the country, 7th overall defense in the country. UMass, 124th overall defense, 135th overall offense. It's going to be a long night for the Minutemen.
Tough sledding for them. I mean, Missouri may be able to cover the 43.5. I don't know. But I don't like games with high spreads like this. There's too many other opportunities to make a few bucks.
Yeah. A couple group of 5 versus FCS. Lindenwood is at Miami. I think Miami handles business there. You get on the win column for the Red Hawks.
Yeah, well, we need to see too. Is Finn out?
Yeah.
Is he coming back? I mean, the backup played well against UNLV. He came in and honestly looked better than Finn has looked, especially throwing the ball in the first couple weeks. So that's a storyline to keep an eye out for as we get closer to Saturday.
Yep. And then Rhode Island is at Western Michigan. Western Michigan might get some things rolling now. Big win last week. We'll see. I mean, I think they win against Rhode Island, but we'll see how they get when they get into the, meat of the conference schedule.
Yeah, just don't have a letdown game. You get a big win against Toledo. Just keep that train rolling, play sound football, and you should come out on top.
So we got some really good group of 5 non-conference matchups, starting with South Alabama at North Texas, 2 teams that I think both of us were pretty high on preseason. North Texas obviously having a great season. South Alabama, a little bit of a letdown, especially last week. South Alabama's defended the pass pretty well, and that's what North Texas really likes to do. However, they've not defended well on 3rd downs. And then North Texas, on the other hand, I got some numbers for you, Jeff. North Texas, 53% 3rd down conversion. It's a pretty good number. It's not the best in the country or anything, but it's a pretty good number. And then also North Texas tied for 1st in the nation turnover margin. So my question for North Texas, like South Alabama has been pretty solid. We saw the efficiency of Bishop Davenport. We saw them running the ball well until last week. So can Davenport bounce back, have a more efficient game manager type game? That's all we need out of him. And then for North Texas, think about the Western Michigan game where they started slow and then finished strong, came back and won that game. Then I think about the game last week where they started strong and then sort of squandered a little bit and almost blew it at the end. I'd like to see North Texas play a full 60 minutes against a good South Alabama team. I tell you, I don't like a 2-touchdown spread in this game.
Well, you don't know which South Alabama team is going to show up. That's the hardest thing when it comes to this game. I definitely think North Texas wins this game. Their defense, man, has looked great, outside of the second half pretty much of the Army game last week. But I think that's a bit of an outlier there. I could see the over being in play. I mean, North Texas is going to put up points. If South Alabama's offense shows up, I think that 64.5 covers. You can move that down a little bit and still get some pretty good odds there. 12.5, I don't know that. It's a little risky for me just because you don't know what you're going to get. But let me just say, Drew Bestamaker has played lights out. He looks good. He looks comfortable in this offense. Eric Morris he gets rated by the portal every year, and he just seems to reload. So credit to Eric Morris for being able to replace so much every single year. That's just a testament to his recruiting, his development as a coach, getting his new guys to buy in quickly, especially in that offense. But man, over 1,000 yards passing, 10 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. It's amazing what not turning the ball over does, especially in a pass-happy offense, and has a rushing touchdown as well. So yeah, I think North Texas gets it done.
Yeah, that's going to be, with this Oklahoma State firing of Mike Gundy, look out for the Texas coaches, GJ Kinney, Eric Morris. Their names are going to come up in that search, I'm sure. And like I talked about before you got fired, Oklahoma State's one that's got all the resources you can ask for. However, they got Big Bad Tulsa in the neighborhood now. So, New Mexico State at New Mexico. How about both of these teams being 2-1 at this point in the season? And New Mexico's only loss is not a bad loss to Michigan, and New Mexico State's only loss is a loss to a pretty good La Tech team. So, I think New Mexico. I like this New Mexico team. And here's the thing about New Mexico. They lose Dampier, they lose the coach, they lose all this stuff. They come in this year. They've only been penalized 7 times for 47 yards on the entire season. So we talk about any team. We talk about the dumb stuff, the controllable stuff, turnovers, dumb penalties. And what that tells you is they're not getting behind the chains. They're staying ahead of the chains. They're getting first downs. They're able to stay balanced. So I like New Mexico here.
I do too. That stable of running backs, we discussed that before the season with Eck coming over, bringing, really the top 3 pretty much FCS running backs with him. And each week it's been kind of somebody different. I think, I do like New Mexico, but New Mexico State on the other side, Logan Fife coming over, right? He's played well, has turned it over a little bit, hasn't seen his legs play a huge role this year as it has, especially when he was at Fresno State. I think this should be a fun matchup. Do like New Mexico State. Jackson Eck, son of head coach, leading the team in tackles, has a forced fumble. He's playing really well.
Yeah. Just looking at this next one. Liberty at Old Dominion. Old Dominion, 16.5-point favorites. But, for Liberty, what are they going to do at quarterback? I saw Chadwell kind of said they got 3 on the roster, and they're all sort of fighting, is the last I saw, for the job. I don't know. Do they go with the freshman, try to provide a spark, kind of save the season a little bit? What I worry about here is Old Dominion. I was there when Jacksonville State ran the ball all over Liberty, and Old Dominion's running it quite well themselves, especially from the quarterback spot. So I think that's going to provide all kind of problems for Liberty.
Just want to see Old Dominion come out and play clean football. Kojo has had the tendency to turn it over at times, but he's looked great with his legs. And then Liberty, just having the big question mark quarterback though could go in your favor a little bit because Old Dominion can't really game plan and you don't really know what you're going to see. But on the flip side of that point, it's probably going to make your playbook a little more vanilla if you're Liberty, because you've had the guy during camp and summer. Your offense moves forward and grows each week. Now you're kind of having to dial it back, and you got to keep it pretty simple. I think it'll be closer than people think, especially initially, because it is a bit of a rivalry, right? Virginia, all those things. But I think ultimately on the road, at Old Dominion, love Kojo, man. Been singing his praises and glad he's answered the bell.
And again, I know so far Liberty's season hasn't turned out to be certainly not what they expect. But this is one of the things we were talking about in the preseason, is because everybody knocks their schedule about not having a power 4 opponent on it. But again, like, did you want to play, I don't know, Clemson? Well, Clemson's a bad example now. Do you want to play Florida State and probably get beat pretty good? Or did you want to play James Madison and Old Dominion, who are both really, really good, but you're going to be able to compete with them, And so it's unfortunate that Liberty's season has started the way it started, because that James Madison game was a pretty good game. James Madison pulled away late there, and this one should be a pretty good game, but they should have had even more. They should have been playoff implication type games. So it's unfortunate Liberty's season has started as slow as it started. So, but I think Old Dominion gets this one. Jacksonville State at Southern Miss. Jeff, you're looking at me like you like something about this game. I don't like Southern Miss being 4.5-point favorites at all.
I don't either. That's what I was looking at.
Jackson State is going to win. I mean, I don't know. Am I missing something?
Maybe because they're at home and they're getting points, but yeah, I mean, Jack State, outside of really like one performance this year, has looked really well, really good. And I know it was against Murray State last week. I get it. Cam Cook has looked dominant. And when you can run the ball, 22 carries, 147 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Wimstat played well, had a touchdown, didn't turn it over. If they can just do these things and their defense continues to play like they've shown in most of their appearances this year, yeah, I don't see how Southern Miss is 4.5-point favorites. And I know they got Braxton, they got players, but kind of like as Huff alluded to before the season, this is a different team. We have a lot of different players. I know we got some key pieces, but it's going to take time for them to kind of gel and get together. So should be a fun matchup for sure. 57.5. I think that's in play. Definitely in play.
Yeah, I mean, Southern Miss goes as Braylon Braxton goes, and that's where I think Jacksonville State is going to be able to run the ball. They've got the 8th rushing offense in the country. I think they'll be able to run the ball, control time of possession, control the clock, and keep Braxton off the field, most importantly. So that's where I like, dude, I like Jacksonville State straight up, Jeff. I mean
there's some juice there, and I have to say too, Southern Miss burned me a week ago betting, so it could be a little bit of saltiness there on my perspective.
Yeah, UConn at Buffalo. UConn's 2.5-point favorites, 51.5 over under. Buffalo is another one that I'm not yet disappointed in. I'm not wrong on them yet. I think there's still time, but they've just been middle of the road across the board, middle of the road at everything. A little bit inconsistent. The defense that I thought was going to be like world-class defense, they're going to get tested versus UConn. UConn's putting up 500 yards a game, 40 points a game. So if the Buffalo defense wants to make a statement that, hey, we are good, we are actually we are who you thought we were, they're going to have to step up big time. Otherwise, there's going to be all kind of points scored in this game because UConn's defense ain't good either.
I've been surprised that Buffalo's been in a couple sort of shootouts already this year, because we were high on this defense, and Al-J Henderson, one of the best backs in the MAC. But yeah, UConn's offense, that's all they've done all year is score points. So and 51.5 right now. I don't know why I'm just leaning towards a lot of overs this week. Think there's going to be points scored. I do love a home dog in Buffalo though. Like, this will be the week where they've kind of underperformed the last two, and then this week they'll come out, defense will play lights out, they'll hand the ball to Al-J like 25 times, they'll have 180 yards, something like that. It's like, this is a team we thought we've seen, or we were going to see, I should say.
Yeah, I hope we see that. I want to see that Buffalo defense and that run game step up, that offensive line that we've talked about, but yeah, we'll see. Hopefully this is the weekend for that. I'll give you a game, Jeff. You've been liking these overs. I'll give you one you're going to like, the under. San Diego State at NIU, 43.5. This is NIU is scoring less than 13 points a game. Okay. Second to last in the land. San Diego State's defense only giving up 12 points a game, 84 yards per game rushing. And Northern Illinois can't throw it at all. They can run it okay. San Diego State's defense not giving up any big runs, anything like that. I just don't see NIU being able to do anything offensively in this game.
I'm with you there. Denegal, for what he's looked like so far, I'll give him credit, has not turned the ball over. And when you got a fantastic defense as they've played this year, that's all you really have to do is play point guard and not make mistakes to give extra possessions to the opponent. But even if that happens in this game, again, like you mentioned, I'm not so sure NIU has proven anything offensively this year outside of, running the ball occasionally, pretty decent. But that's kind of how they've always been. They've struggled to throw the ball. So, yeah, 43.5 is pretty low. You're talking like a 24-20 game, and it's blown. So maybe move that up if you want to do that. But I think San Diego State wins by a field goal. I like that line. Just take them straight up. You're not going to lose that much points. Yeah.
Yeah. 24-20. Jeff, I'm over here talking about 24-0. This is kind of what I'm thinking here.
I'm with you. I could see that.
The only way that goes over is if San Diego State's defense scores another 2 touchdowns, which they might. So, I don't know.
All it takes is like a random outlier game.
Yeah.
Where
and maybe
somebody breaks it. Telly Johnson breaks one.
Yeah. And maybe I'm biased based off of San Diego State's performance last week, 34-0 against Cal. Because they weren't good against Washington State, who's not a very good team.
Yeah.
So, maybe I'm just
riding that high a little bit.
Yeah, I'm falling for it. Speaking of Washington State, they're at Colorado State. Colorado State benching Braden Fowler Nicolosi. They pulled him at the end of the UTSA game, and per Jay Norvell, they are going with Jackson Brousseau at quarterback to get the start. Look, the guy came in, their offense was anemic, if that's the right word, against UTSA last week, and they brought in Brousseau fourth quarter. He leads 2 touchdown drives, goes 10 of 12, 78 yards with a touchdown pass. And they're going to stick with him, hoping he can provide an offensive spark. This offense, this air raid style offense, has not been very good this year. So I think you got to make a change. And then, another sidebar to it is, okay, well, it's week 5. So these guys have played their 4 games. So now a guy like Fowler Nicolosi gets pulled. Does he go into coach's office Monday morning and say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and redshirt.
Potential.
Go play for Coach Prime next year.
Potentially. Who knows if that's the case, but I think you kind of had to do this before you get too far into the season and get into conference play. You want to see what this kid can do. He played well in the fourth quarter. I know it was the fourth quarter, so you got to take a little bit of that with a grain of salt. But if he fires up the players around him and it gives you a spark, this is one you kind of need this one just for overall record purposes. 4.5 though. I don't know. That's
well, Jeff, you talk about it being the fourth quarter, though. The guy led a fourth quarter comeback and had a chance to win it, and they went for 2 and didn't get it. So it wasn't like it was fourth quarter garbage time.
I know. But the point I was trying to make on that is you game plan for a certain type, right? And it should transition even though the backup comes in there, but you're always going to get an immediate kind of jolt of energy by everybody. When you make a decision like that and switch QBs, let's see if it transfers over into this game. That's all I was saying.
Yeah. No, the other part of it is Washington State, they don't run the ball at all. They've only had, let me give you Washington State's rushing totals on the year. They've only had 1 game where as a team, they went over 100 yards. And funny enough, that was against San Diego State, who I just talked about being so good on defense. They went for 3 rushing yards against Idaho. They went for 64 rushing yards against North Texas, and then they went for 28 rushing yards last week against Washington. So they don't even try. They don't even try to run it. So I don't know. We'll see. I like I think Colorado State will get it done. You hope that Brousseau doesn't have early young quarterback mistakes, and you hope that they don't have to go back to BFN. That's where you could really run into some issues if you have to go back to it. Big one in Boise. App State at Boise State. 16.5 points for Boise right now. 60.5 overall. I think the chance, the way that App State could win this game or even be in this game, to be quite honest with you, is they can throw it now. And we know Boise's back end on their defense has been a little bit suspect at times. If Boise, they've also been known to do this, gets a little too cute offensively and starts slow like they've done, and App starts fast and throws it, gets a quick score or two, and then you got Boise playing from behind, and then it starts to take away what they actually do well, which is run the ball. So I think that's App State's chance. They've got to start fast, and they've got to hope that Boise shoots themselves in the foot offensively, and tries to force feed the pass game. But I don't know. I mean, I think overall, I think Boise's a much better team. You also wonder for App, I know it's a different roster, different coaching staff and all that, but will they be playing sort of heavy hearts? And which way could that go? Sometimes that goes in the positive direction. Sometimes it goes in the negative direction. So I'm not really sure. I'm leaning towards Boise handling this game, though.
I think Boise ultimately gets it done. I'm not a fan of that 16.5 point spread though. Their defense hasn't looked the part of years past and what we thought, especially with all the returners coming back from last year. Just giving up too many points for me, and App State has the guys on that offense and the style that they run to be able to score, but can't have red zone turnovers like they did a week ago. You got running backs. I think if App State can score early, use that run game a little bit to help control time of possession, you brought it up. I'm not so sure that Boise play calling wise, I don't understand it. Like, I understand Madsen is a good quarterback. I'm not saying he's not capable, but I don't think he's the type of guy that you put everything on his shoulders and expect you to win a ton of games. Like, you got that stable of running backs. You saw what Riley did, had a monster game. Like, let the ground game control the line of scrimmage, the tempo of this entire game, and I think they'll get the win. But I don't like 16.5.
Yeah, I don't like it either. And App State's run defense has been pretty good too. 62 yards a game they're giving up. But Boise they've got the ability to flex and just maul people. They can. They don't always. And again, I think like you said, there's no reason that they need to throw the ball more than 30 times. It's just you just don't need to do it. Especially it ain't like last year where you've got Genty, and if you run the ball 40 times, Genty's carrying it 35, which they did at times. I mean, you got 3 or 4 of them. I mean, Dylan Riley, he wasn't even really one of the ones that
we were talking
about. Now, Sire Gaines, I don't know. I think he only had 2 carries the other night. I don't know if he's hurt again. And then Malik Sherrod, I know he does a lot on special teams, but he's a big home run threat too. So I'd like to see you give all of those guys 10, 12, or give Riley 20 carries, give Gaines 12, Sherrod 8, something like that. Give these guys 40-something carries combined. But
they're at home. That's going to swing, score or 2 your way for sure. So crowd should be raucous.
Yeah. Boise will be just fine, and they lost to a very good South Florida team. That's their only loss. We see this time and time again where you think, oh, okay, Boise's done. And then 10 weeks into the season, they're right at the top of the Mountain West. So, excuse me, they'll be just fine. By the way, did you see Paul Fine, speaking of Feinbaum, basically threatening the College Football Playoff Committee.
Let me see if I could pull this up.
Can you pull this really fast before we get to voicemails?
Yeah,
I mean,
we got a few minutes. Let me see if I can get this up and get it to play because I didn't download the clip, but I think you'll be able to hear it. Hold on.
If you ever thought that ESPN and the SEC and the committee weren't in cahoots, if you will, I mean, if this isn't who is Paul Feinbaum to have any input on anything?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean that guy, like, I'm not some expert here, but that guy has made a career out of just sitting there while a bunch of drunken, emotional SEC fans call his show and complain. And he's made it. I mean, good on him.
Yeah, that's what we've been trying to do.
That's what we've been trying to do, and we don't get enough emotion.
That's right.
Stu and Terry, and then no, but
all right, let's see if this will
you got it.
Yeah, shout out to our guy Pitt 1319. Always coming with like
stats,
and stuff. Let's see if this will play. Tell me if you can hear it, Sprouse.
This is supposed to be a night to celebrate where the SEC is, but I'm getting angry listening to this conversation.
Darn it. All right, give me a second.
I didn't hear it. Swear to God. What movie, Jeff?
Download it.
What movie was that from? I didn't hear it. Swear to God. In the chat, what's that from? Come on.
Let's see.
Conversation. God. Because Greg,
you know who would know? Jesse
we're all
Grisham
dumbfounded
would know.
about what we
in the chat. Can you hear that in the chat? I don't know. I don't know if they can hear it. I didn't download the clip. I should have done that.
Oh. Well, anyway, we'll
darn it.
All right, is anybody going to answer my trivia question?
No, what was it? Oh, they can
What
hear
movie's that from?
Yeah, they can hear it.
Oh, they can. Oh, play
it. It's just you who can't hear it.
This is supposed to be a night to celebrate where the SEC is, but I'm getting angry listening to this conversation because, Greg, we're all dumbfounded about what we heard last year, and we have laid a marker from the SEC at the feet of the CFP, and they better deliver. And I'm not making threats because I don't have any more control over it than anybody else, but I know some people who do, and if they screw this up, they will be paying for it. And I don't know how or will, but they should, because this is unequivocal what the SEC has laid down tonight.
Yeah.
What does that even mean? If they screw that up, if they screw this up.
Oh, I don't know. I couldn't hear it, Jeff.
I know.
I don't know what he said.
Know. I thought you watched it before though.
Yeah, I did quickly though. So if the clip's over, we can talk now?
We can talk about it.
So what did he say? He said the committee better not screw this up, basically.
Yeah. And it's referring to the enhanced. So they came out and said they're going to use enhanced metrics to determine playoff. You know what this is, Sprouse? This is the committee preemptively telling you we are going to put in a 2 or 3 loss SEC team over a 1-loss Big 10 or a 1-loss Big 12.
Yeah.
Or a 1-loss or 2-loss Group of 5 pro. Like they're telling you right now, and Feinbaum is threatening the committee. Like, if you don't do this, you're going to have hell to pay. Because you know who signed a pretty large media deal years ago?
Who's that?
The SEC and the ACC specifically.
Who's that,
Good
Jeff?
old ESPN. Good old ESPN. And what network is this on? The old ESPN.
And who's creating these advanced metrics, by the way? Probably also ESPN.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
By the way, we've got a guy on the inside now at ESPN in the stats and research department. A guy from Tulane. A covert operation.
Speaking of Tulane,
we're gonna find out.
But
nobody knows. Nobody's gonna respond to me asking what movie that's from as a trivia question for the day.
No.
The line is, I didn't hear it. Swear to God.
No, what is it?
Remember the Titans, dude. It's when Ray, the racist guy on the team, gives a lookout block to the Rev.
Ah, that's right.
And Louis Lastic's like, Rev, I audibled. I swear to God, I audibled. And Ray goes, I didn't hear it. Swear to God.
That's such a great movie.
It's such a bad, good movie. You know what I mean? Like it's such a bad football movie.
I'm going to go to the papers.
It's got so many quotes and lines from it. I mean, you see those memes about like when guys get together and they just name off random football players or whatever. You see all those like memes. I feel like We're like that with that movie alone.
doubt.
It's like you could communicate and have a full conversation with somebody just saying lines from Remember the Titans.
Well,
But
Drew in the chat, in regards to the Feinbaum clip, he says, means the SEC and Big Ten will pull out of the playoff.
good. Go for it.
C'est la vie.
Go take your ESPN deal over to Disney Plus and Hulu, the Hulu package. You'll have to download Hulu to watch
That's right.
the SEC play. Go for it. And we'll have real college football. And Jeff and I will be the faces of the media.
New media.
We gotta get to these voicemails. 615-900-4286. On Friday, we'll be talking about all of the conference games. I think I saw something about asking about Kennesaw State in there. I think that's who they're asking
KSU.
about. I may go to that game, by the way. I may go up to Kennesaw on Saturday, pending weather. I may go check out the Blue Raiders live and in person so that I can see what Jeff has been seeing over the past couple of weeks. And I don't know, go over to Fifth Third Stadium, 10,000 screaming Owl fans.
Oh yeah.
I like the Kennesaw State team. I do kind of want to get up there to see them.
Yeah.
But again, it's pending weather. It'll be I promised my wife and kids we'd hang out this weekend. So
you just didn't tell them it'd be in Atlanta.
I just didn't tell them it'd be a football game and not a pumpkin patch. So, so we'll see what happens. But anyway, let's get to the voicemail. 615-900-4286.
Group of five guys, Josh Bevel here. Forgive me, it's late. I'm a little quiet. Baby's sleeping, so I gotta keep the voice down. But Eagles win, another victory. They damn sure want to make me sweat for that freaking spread to cover. I mean, good gosh. Not a good first half for the defense, especially. Pick six, too, by JC. Unacceptable first half, to be quite honest with you. But, I mean, we put a hurting on them in the second half. But at the same time, I mean, we can't keep on making good second half adjustments, especially on the defensive side of the ball, to be successful against James Madison next week and down the road in conference play. I mean, defense has still got to clean up some things. I mean, we can't have slow starts on the defensive side of the ball in the first half. It's just can't happen if we want to compete down the road. But hey, I mean, you know, everybody talking a whole lot of shit when we're 0-2. Guess what, pal? We're 2-2 now, fixing to be 3-2 next week. 3-2 going into the bye week. And then we host Southern Miss on a Thursday night. Now, I'm not going too far ahead of myself. We still got JMU. But Murph, I've been talking to Statesboro Sprouse. He wants to come back home to the borough. Make it happen. You haven't been to a game in the borough, man. You gotta come. Gotta see what it's like. With that being said, JMU, we're on to your candy asses next week. We're coming for you. We're gonna go in your house and lay the freaking wood and beat your ass. Hail Southern. God bless the group of five guys.
Need to get
Jeff,
down there.
if I chug this bottle of beautiful Eagle Creek water, will you go to that Thursday night game in Statesboro? Then we simply slide on over to the Blue Room post game.
Yeah, I'll bring Dom and because that's the only way. That's the boys' fall break, and the wife has given clearance to go to
The wife's been to Statesboro. Both wives have been to Statesboro. They've enjoyed their time there.
They have. She said
we'll get that loft again. We'll get that fancy loft above the steakhouse again.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll make a decision here in the next.
Now
week
I'll
or
say
two.
all this, Josh, love you, buddy, but that 3-2, I scrolled down on my notes here. Thought, well, who are they going to beat so easily? Oh no, that's this week, James Madison. Yeah, buddy, you're probably going to be 2-3, dog. We'll see.
See what happens.
See. Anyway, what else we
I'm
got?
not saying
Jeff?
yes. I'm not saying no, Josh. I'm not saying yes.
What's up, guys? Doug, you don't have to apologize. You can talk shit all you want to UL fans. UL sucks this year. I mean, UL is the worst team in the nation, and I don't mean that in exaggeration. They just are. I don't see a single FBS win in sight. We lost 4 out of our 6 tackles due to injury. We're going to use our backups. So at this point, we lost our 2 wide receivers due to injury, or starting wide receivers. Our wide receiver core wasn't even that good in the first place. Our starting wide receivers were dropping passes. So now we're like resorting to second and third string wide receivers who are worse than that. The fan base has given up on Dez. This is year 4. He's the reigning Sun Belt Coach of the Year, which last year just seems more like a fluke now. I mean, we just kind of just waiting for his contract to run out. So by 2029, hopefully we can get a Nick Saban as his coach or something like that. Who knows? Maybe Urban Meyer would like to dance on some girls in downtown Lafayette and come down here and coach our team. If we can, hopefully find the money to hire anybody. I mean, just a horrible game, man. Eastern Michigan had the worst running defense in the nation, and we're running the ball all over them. And for some reason, you tell me this, on 4th and 2, you have a freshman quarterback who is struggling to throw the football. What do? I tell you what you don't do. You don't throw a fucking slant. You don't throw a fucking slant and think that, you're gonna outsmart the defense. Just do what you get over 200 yards rushing. Do what works. And then we squib kick the ball on accident because there was a miscommunication to the kicker to squib kick. The game is tied. We give them the ball back with 40 seconds left and 2 timeouts, and they walk off with a game winner. I mean, you had the game won. You had the game plan, and you don't do it. I could be a head coach. Like, why are we paying this dude $3 million to fuck up our athletic program? And he can't do proper situational football since he's been here. It's fucking disgusting. And he's not going to change. He's stubborn as a mule. He's not going to change. And we're just going to keep him because our administration would just like to keep a cheap coach instead of try to find the next Billy Napier. They would just rather keep a guy here forever and pay him the money instead of finding a successful program builder. But anyway, RIP Shawn Clark, man. App State guys, Stu, all y'all, man. I feel bad for y'all, bro. Like, praying for him and his family. Hope y'all heal up. And, God bless Group of 5. God bless Group of 5 guys. God bless App State and Shawn Clark's family. Go Cajuns.
Good to hear from you, Terry.
Yeah, I got a couple things. One, maybe the next Billy Napier is Billy Napier down in Lafayette. Maybe he'll come
love
coach.
A good retread.
Maybe I do love a good retread. Maybe he'll come coach for free off of his Florida buyout. Could be something. You just pay Dez his buyout and let Napier coach for free because he's still getting however many million from Florida. The other thing is, funny enough, dude, they're favored again this week, 1.5 against Marshall at home. But the last thing, this is something that's been a topic a lot as of late. Terry mentioned it. They're trying to outsmart the defense all the time. That's what coordinators are trying to do. They're trying to put their stamp on it was them that made a great play call. It was not, we'll just run the ball. That's what we're good at. That's what we do. That's not cute. It's not gimmicky. That doesn't get you your next job. So I think that's what happens very often.
I agree. As an offensive guy, I love to throw the ball, but you got a young kid in there who's not proven that he can do it, especially in that game. Like, you can't ask a kid to do something he hasn't been able to do.
Now, 4th and 2, if you run it up the middle and it gets stuffed, everybody's going to say, why are we running it straight up the middle? That was so predictable, so.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch that film. They probably loaded the box. They knew that's what it was going to be. It was probably cover 0, and they decided to throw it. But in that instance, like, I don't necessarily like a slant. Like, let's get your guy on the move. Let's go.
The old pop pass,
Your run, exactly. Your run games, stick that ball out there, pull it back, get him on the edge, get a spider 3 Y banana, fullback in the flat, tight end to the corner. Why not?
Yeah, a couple options there as he's rolling out.
And he can run it too. So, anyways, let's get to our next one.
Hey, Group of 5 guys, Tom here. Want to talk to you guys about the absolute insanity that I saw at Jerry Richardson yesterday. I truly believe we're cursed. I just want to go through some of the stuff I had the pleasure of watching in person today. So first drive, going down the field, get a field goal. Then we drop an open touchdown, absolute dime by Connor Harrell in the end zone. Drop it, have to settle for 3. We're driving in the second half, 3rd and 16. Connor Harrell who was absolutely dicing up today or yesterday. Goes down, runs down the field, gets tackled into the right equipment truck. The exact same one that Jaquarius Conley, our best secondary player, goes. He's out of the game. He's probably done for the year. Lower leg. I think it's going to be meniscus or something like that. Oh, my goodness, dude. Then we hand that ball off. Rod Gainey right before halftime has a great run, breaks 3, free run to the end zone, pulls his hamstring on the 40-yard line and has to limp off the field, and he's done now as well. We're down to, I think we're at 6 starters now injured on offense. Majority of them seem like close to season ending. Just ridiculous. We were in the opposition 30-yard line 6 times, separate times yesterday. We scored 0 touchdowns. That one that Gainey pulled his hamstring on, we would have been up going into half. We end up missing the field goal to end the half. The only touchdown we scored was an explosive from the 31. We got there 6 times in the opposition 30. Oh, my goodness, guys. I mean, I was just in shock at what I saw. I truly believe we win that game with a healthy team. But now that Connor's done, we're down 8 or 9 out of 22 starters. We're done. I mean, Albin's going to get this thing turned around, I'm sure, but it won't be this year. We cannot recover from that many injuries. Just another brutal thing to watch on ESPN. I just wish we were healthy. We would have had a chance to get that. Anyway, I guess I'll watch the games this weekend, and I guess I'll be back for our road game with South Florida. Fantastic. Take care, guys. God bless. Goodbye.
That'll be good.
Tom, I'm sorry, pal. I mean, you lose that many starters, especially at key
We're right there with
like
you, Tom.
Yeah.
I mean, that's middle, dude, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. They probably look better than we do.
That's bad teams. Like, that's it in a nutshell. It's a couple things that happen. You get a couple guys hurt. You have a little bit of bad luck. You have some mistakes, and your season just starts to spiral. I mean, it's like clockwork. And he's right. It's like sometimes it seems to happen to the same people, especially with injuries.
Well,
I need Mark D, if you're still in the chat, I need that stat. I need a stat on like weekly injuries by team to see who consistently has, and I don't know, maybe that's on your strength and conditioning coach. Maybe that's on is it on your athletic training staff? Is it on your nutritionist? Is it on, some kids are just get hurt all the damn time.
Some things just happen, right? But after we posted our top 25, by the way, go check that out on the X, IG, and Facebook platforms. A lot of the Charlotte fans were like,
yeah.
Well, guess what we got up next? South Florida, Army, North Texas, ECU, UTSA, and Tulane. That's who we got left on the American
Yeah, they haven't even gotten to their hard part of their schedule.
Mark D says, I will have something by Friday.
This guy's unbelievable.
Dialed in. Let's get to our last one.
Yeah.
Hey, guys. Zach Green here. Got cut off the last time. I'm just going to run it back, try to do it all over again in a shorter manner. But anyways, I got to start off by saying, as I think one of you has said, the tailgate is undefeated. Me and my season ticket group and we did our first tailgate this Saturday. It was a lot of fun. Good food, good time hanging out, good time playing cornhole. I'm trash at it. I got to say, most of y'all listening to this would be very disappointed with the drink selection, but we had a good time. And then we go into the game. The weather's good. It's a little bit warm, but the weather's good. It's kind of a tit for tat first half. It's, I think, 10-10 at halftime. Defense is playing pretty well. Vasco, not passing great, but, taking care of the football, taking off and running more than he has. Seeing some good things going on. O-line looked pretty good. And then we get into the second half. We start with another long drive, only get 3 points, but it's 13-10. And then at some point, I don't remember exactly when, Vasco goes down. I haven't checked to see exactly what's going on. Looked at his arm and sling on the sideline. Looked like maybe a collarbone or something. By the time you're playing this, I'm sure it's been out how long he's expected to be out, but I'm sure it's going to be quite some time. But replacement they brought in, they kind of did a 2-quarterback system for a couple of drives with, I think, redshirt freshman Michael Merdinger and true freshman Ethan Houck. And I got to say, I fully expected JMU to be the team with the 2-quarterback system today and not Liberty. We played 3 quarterbacks today, and from what I can tell, Sluka never touched the field for JMU, so I think they've committed to Barnett, but who played well, by the way.
Out of there.
But anyway, the 2-quarterback thing wasn't working. Then they just went with Merdinger. Those drives didn't go super well. Houck got a drive, didn't go super well. Basically, JMU shut us down, and then they really got rolling on the ground a little bit in the pass game as well. Ended up winning 31-13 after us being in the lead about halfway through the third quarter at 13-10. So they were clearly the better team being able to pull away like that, but for much of the game, it was a very close game. Shout out to the crowd. It wasn't as good as it could have been, I think, had Liberty been playing better this year, and then maybe if JMU was undefeated. JMU brought about as many as ECU did last year, I think, but we did clear 24,000 and our stadium only holds 25. So that was fun, but man, we got to get this offense figured out. The defense did well enough. The special teams was a lot better. Shout out to kicker Jay Billingsley, but the offense is a mess, and we got to get it figured out quick. Part of me just wants to say, let's just see what happens at ODU next week and start the season fresh in October with all those.
Appreciate it, Zach. Yeah, we'll see. I think Chadwell, I saw he's like all 3 quarterbacks that are active and on the roster could get in. I think that's a little gamesmanship by him, probably.
I think you go with the true freshman, Jeff.
Just go with.
Why not?
Yeah, I mean, he knows better than anybody. He's recruited him. He's seen him.
Yeah. Like,
go with one and roll with it. And I think you see 2 though, unless one just starts the game and like lights
gets
it
rolling.
Up. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
agree.
I think you'll see multiple.
Yeah, and then just to touch on it, I bet Sluka's out of there, buddy.
Probably.
What do you think?
Well, he's got to be. How many years does he have left?
I don't know, dude. These guys can play for 9 years now. These guys.
I think this is his senior year. I think
this is what we talked about with Chad. 2 weeks ago? These guys, and I don't know about him in particular, but these guys play for 7-8 years, and they walk out of there with 1 degree in general studies. Yeah. What a disaster that is. Could you imagine getting college paid for 8 years, and you come out of there with a general ass studies degree?
It's embarrassing. Oh, you transfer that much, your damn credits don't go with you.
If you could, yeah, exactly. But again, they make it like this. The point of the window timing had been, oh, we got to line it up with classes. They don't care about classes, dude. Anyway, that's a topic for every day, but not right now. So hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure you hit the follow button, all the social platforms at Group of Five Guys. Go to YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, the Believe Network, wherever you get your best podcasts. Subscribe to the channel, leave a 5-star rating and a review. We will be back Friday morning, same time, same place, talking all of the conference games. I believe there's 14 or 15 of them. Hope you have a good rest of the week. We're out of here.